Hey, how's it going? I'm Kevin, and today I'm going to show you in this video how your software development agency can sign an additional 3 to 5 projects each month using an automated cold email system. So, I have two goals here for you today. One is to show you how valuable an automated lead generation system can be, and secondly, show you how this lead generation system works to grow your business. There are a couple things to keep in mind. As a disclaimer, we do offer this service, so it is in my best interest to convince you to work with us. Our approach is different than the typical way of acquiring leads, and this will be done without lowering your prices, monthly retainers, paying for ads, or building out a sales department. And whether you're struggling to find new clients or simply looking to add an additional acquisition channel, depending on how your service is priced, this could easily add tens of thousands of dollars in monthly revenue. Lastly, we do live in an age of automation, and automation generates wealth, and the ones who take full advantage will come out ahead. And this gentleman also agrees. Fact, automation generates wealth. So before we dive in deeper, I'm Kevin Yu, founder of Obby. Um, I am a former software engineer, and as a former software engineer who has gone through the trenches, I've gone through my fair share of development, and my unique perspective allows me to understand the nuances of your services to help grow your business. This is more of a generalization, but as engineers, we do tend to neglect the importance of marketing, right? We usually focus more on the product or the service itself at the expense of marketing. And our mission is to bridge that gap for software development agencies, ensuring your service gets in front of eyeballs. So, three main problems of software development agencies. These are three pain points that agencies typically struggle with. One is not enough volume in marketing to the point in which success is inevitable. So, if there's a closing rate, typical closing rate could be between 20 to 35%. For every 10 clients, you would get 2 to 4 clients to convert, um, or 2 to 4 prospects to convert. Even with the low closing rate, let's say at 10%, you would still get one client per 10 prospects, per 10 sales calls. So this is really a numbers game where the sheer volume really makes success inevitable. The second problem is lack of efficient marketing that is both effective and affordable. So effective. So you could have a whole bunch of booked calls, booked sales calls, but if the prospect is not qualified, then it's simply just a waste of time, right? You would have been much better off not having any booked calls to begin with, and also that it's affordable. So if it costs you a fortune to get one client on a sales call, that's just not a sustainable model. So the question is how to do it that's both high quality leads at a low cost. And thirdly, not enough time or resources to create or manage a marketing department. So, client acquisition, it requires a tremendous amount of resources. So, for someone that's working on the business itself, it's a lot of work and takes up a lot of mental bandwidth. So these are typically the three issues. So how do we address these issues? So these problems could be addressed through an automated lead generation system that will consistently bring high quality booked calls. And I emphasize high quality. That's also cost efficient with minimal overhead, right? So this equation here is high quality booked calls. It's just something I created, but it's high quality booked calls multiplied by cost efficiency, which is time and money, which equals cold email outreach system, right? That's what we offer. And by setting this up correctly, you will experience business growth. Okay, so I want to give you a quick overview of cold emails because they tend to have a bad rap, especially because there are people who abuse it. So the thing that comes to some people's mind when they hear cold emails is that it's spam. And I don't want to spend too much time going into this, but typically, we have shady people sending unwanted promotions indiscriminately to consumers. That would be considered spam when we have unwanted and untargeted business to consumer emails. But when we're talking about B2B with precise targeting, when it's done in the right context, for example, I'm offering building out an automated lead generation system specifically to software development agencies. and my targeting is precise and relevant to your business. This would not be considered spam. Legitimate marketing as defined by law. So there are also laws and regulations in place that allows businesses to do cold email marketing in order to find prospects. And based on what I've seen, typically the more sophisticated a company is, the more likely they are to implement some form of cold email marketing. And then if effectiveness is, are cold emails effective? Well, so first of all, the distinction is important to understand what I've shared so far, as it will enable you to increase your sophistication and outreach strategies. But if you're still in doubt whether cold email outreach system works, most likely you are watching this video through our cold email marketing campaign, which is proof in itself that this system does work. And I just wanted to share this quote. You can make a great product, but if no one knows about it, then it will get zero sales. And that's by Grant Cardone. And this is, really the main constraint that we need to address, right, in order to bridge that gap. So, who is this for? So, this is for you if you run a software development agency that provides B2B service for other clients. This is for you if you want to add an additional automated acquisition channel that allows you to generate 5 to 20 qualified sales calls every month despite the economic downturns and recent tech layoffs. You have the capacity and bandwidth to sign an additional 3 to 5 new projects. If you don't have that bandwidth and you're at capacity, then this wouldn't be for you. This is for you if you're looking to tap into a new pool of high quality prospects. If you've never done cold email marketing before, then this is a treasure mine of potential prospects who have not been exposed to your service. This could be a very low hanging fruit if you've never done cold email marketing before. And this is for you if you want to achieve your goals without reducing your service fees, without investing in costly advertising campaigns, without expanding your team with the sales department, without depending on referrals or word of mouth, and without making significant upfront payments without guaranteed outcomes. This video is not for everyone. This is not for you if you don't run a software development business that works with clients. It's not for you if your closing rate is lower than 10%, because in that case, there's probably not a problem with you with the business acquiring more leads. It's probably something to do with an inefficiency in the sales process, or maybe there needs to be adjustment in the offer itself. This is not for you if you don't have the capacity to sign new clients. This is not for you if you don't believe cold emails work or think that they're spam. So at this point, if you still think that cold emails don't work or think that they're spam, then we're probably not a good fit at this point. Okay, so let me show you a little bit more in detail how this works. So this process is guaranteed to book calls, and you'll see why. So there's a lot of steps that are involved, but let me go over the rules. So first rule is that you need to make sure the emails land in the inbox every time and that we're avoiding the spam folder. If emails are landing in the spam folder, then it's completely pointless, right? It doesn't matter how many emails we send. Secondly is we want to scale volume to negate luck, right? So it's really a numbers game. So depending on what the conversion rate is, we just multiply that by a big number, and there are going to be conversions. It's inevitable. Thirdly, prompt personalized responses. So as prospects respond and reply to our marketing campaign, there needs to be quick responses and there needs to be quick custom responses because everyone's going to reply differently. So this is a way to warm them up and then get them onto a sales call. So we start with data mining here on the left side. So data mining has to do with mining data, right? Data is considered to be more valuable than gold in this digital age. This data is what's going to give us the emails that's going to allow us to get our service known to other people, which in turn generates money or gold. So who is the target audience, right? Where are they found? And then from there, after determining that, we need to scrape the lead sources. So we scrape the lead sources, we acquire contacts, and from there we filter them down with the ones that have emails. And from those emails, we also have to clean the emails to make sure that they're all valid. So we want to make sure we do this process correctly so that the list of contacts we have is highly targeted and relevant, and that there aren't any bounce backs. Bounce backs is when you send an email to an invalid email, then the emails bounce back, right? Meaning that it damages your reputation. And if the reputation of the email gets damaged, then it will soon start landing in spam or get blacklisted. Next is campaign setup. So this has to do with building out the infrastructure. So first, we'll purchase domains. We'll purchase multiple domains for you because we're trying to scale the system. And then we have to do the configuration and the setup for the DNS, which is the domain name server. And we also purchase emails. So, oh, by the way, for the domain name server, we have to make sure that the protocols are all done correctly. So there's DMARC, DKIM, SPF. And then we have to set up purchase emails and then set up the emails and make sure that they're optimized for deliverability as well, and configure and wire all of that together. And then we warm up the emails. So when you create an email account, we can't just start using it and sending out emails through that. Otherwise, again, it's going to get blacklisted. There's a period of time where the email, once it's created, has to send emails and receive emails, right? And build that volume over time. If done correctly, this process takes 14 days minimum. And then we have email copywriting. So this has to do with persuasion, sales, psychology, converting people over. So we write all the scripts for you, depending on your specific offering. And then we go into wiring the automation itself. So then we build out, this is where the automation comes in, by the way. So not only does the system send out all the emails through the multiple email accounts, it's also going to send follow-up emails depending on the prospects. If the prospects doesn't respond, then we will send follow-up emails. We'll configure it that way. So all of that requires setup and wiring. So here we get to the cold email, and if they don't reply, we send them a follow-up, follow-up 2, follow-up 3, follow-up 4. And then at that point, they're simply not interested. We don't want to spam people. So we send a breakup email. Hey, this is not a fit for us. We understand it's not a good time. We won't send you any more emails. And then from here, as people respond, this is a pretty important service that we offer, which is inbox management. So whether it's positive replies, negative replies, or questions, people are going to start responding to the emails. So then we handle those with custom responses. We handle the objections, we answer questions, and we also qualify the leads. So we make sure that the leads are qualified before we book them on your calendar. So we book them on your calendar, and then this turn into dollar signs. So this is kind of and then from here, we also monitor the metrics, right? So we have to monitor how the campaign's doing. And then, of course, through iterations. So because we operate on a pay per booked call basis, we don't make money unless you don't make money. So our incentives are like closely aligned. So we want this campaign to do well, right? So through each iteration, we're going to be testing out different copywriting to see which one performs better. And through each iteration, this system will become more efficient and better, specifically for your product or service offering. So this is a very high level overview of what we do. So implementing the system will definitely enable you to sign more projects for your business. But at this point, there's really two options. So the first option is going to be to option one is to do it yourself, right? So you could learn the skill sets. So you could learn data mining. You could learn, email protocols, DKIM, DMARC, SPF. You could learn email warming. You could learn copywriting, sales, persuasion. You could learn how the campaign, the automation all works, and just iterate, right? So you could learn the skill sets and do yourself. So you can invest 6 months in figuring out how to implement the system. It will require expending mental bandwidth, not just in building the infrastructure itself, not only like researching and building the infrastructure, but even after building it, now you have to manage it. And now you have to interact with the replies that are coming in and warming up those leads. You also need to pre-qualify your leads, right? So for us, we actually call the clients in advance. make sure that they're qualified before they get booked on your calendar. And in fact, if prospects don't show up or if they weren't qualified to begin with, then we don't charge you for those leads. And you could just send us a recording for that to for verification. And you could figure out as you go along through trial and error. And even then, you will end up with mixed results, right? Because this will be your first time doing it and you don't know what's going to happen. Or option number two is you could outsource the work and leverage our expertise, right? So leverage our cold email expertise, save half a year and thousands of dollars from figuring out on your own, save mental bandwidth, not only from not having to build the infrastructure, but also outsourcing the management of it to us. Start building the system from day one, right? You're purchasing our knowledge, right? So you're building the system from the start. Leverage our software engineering background to pre-qualify your leads. Book your calendar with high quality meetings every single month. Add an additional 10 to 50K of monthly recurring revenue. This should be pretty doable depending on how your service is priced. And lastly, snowball your company revenue as you start acquiring long-term clients. So this is another flowchart of a higher level overview. So again, we have data mining, we have cold email infrastructure, we have inbox management, and here's the automation funnel. So we have automated sales funnel that we're even going to help you build out a VSL, right? So VSL is a video sales letter, which is what you're watching right now, right? Just looking at me and hearing me talk and seeing my face, you know that I'm a real person. And like I'm warming you up right now, so you're more likely to purchase my service just from listening to me and hearing me talk. So right now you're watching an intro VSL from me, but after you book a call, there will be a pre-call VSL, right? So you'd want to do the same for your prospects as well, where you have an intro VSL and then a pre-call VSL would prime them even further, right? And this will also save a lot of time, and partly where the automation comes in, because I'm sure your clients have a ton of questions. There are frequent questions that you get asked all the time on sales calls. What if you were able to record that once, say it perfectly once, and then show it to them, and then you could just distribute it out like as many times as possible, and it's just constantly like repeated over and over after just recording it once, right? That's very efficient and scalable. um, Another aspect is calendar booking. So we're not going to interact with you back and forth asking for your schedule, right? We're going to integrate your calendar, and then based on your availability, there's going to be booked calls. Qualifying questionnaires. So we're going to work with you to build out a questionnaire so that we can get even higher quality prospects based on whether the prospect is a fit for you or not. And then quality refinement. There's going to be a questionnaire review as needed to make your prospects even higher quality. And then pre-call qualification. So we actually go out of our way to call the clients beforehand and make sure that they're pre-qualified, that they're actual clients that are fit for your service before we book them on your calendar. And then here we have refinement and oiling. So we're going to need to refine it based on your feedback, right? We're going to have weekly calls. There's going to be lead quality. Make sure that the qualities, the calls are high quality, and then sales call review if necessary. We could, go through your sales calls if the conversion rates are lower and see what's going on there. We're here for the long run, right? We want to make sure that our service is helping your business and you're finding high value from it. Monitor conversion rates. So as the campaign goes on, we need to monitor the open rates, the conversion rates, see what's going on. If all of them are landing in the inbox, we will need to implement A/B testing. So through each iteration, I think I mentioned this already, we're going to make it better and better. We're going to repair email accounts because some email accounts will break as time goes on. And then we'll also need to clean and replace stale data. So even emails become outdated as people transition careers and companies come and go. So this is also something we'll need to do. So when you leverage our service and expertise, we become, well, there's automation already from the inbox management, right? But you're getting an additional layer of automation where it's like fully automated because we're managing the system for you as well. And this will hopefully snowball to dollar signs. Okay, so let's go over a typical marketing service. So, what does a typical marketing service look like? Cost. They charge an expensive monthly retainer regardless of the results, right? Thousands of dollars per month. Cost. They charge additional fees to pay for ad services they use. So Facebook, SEO, Google Ads, etc. Even if you spend like $30 a day, that's still $1,000 a month. So these add up very quickly, and this is on top of the service that you pay for. Risk results are not guaranteed since they're based on monthly retainers. Interests, they may or may not have your best interest at heart because, for all you know, they could be booking you with low and this is not for every business, but for all you know, they could book you with low quality calls, which either wastes your time, and you're not closing clients, or they're spreading out their time and energy too thin among other clients. I mean, if I was getting paid on a monthly retainer, my objective would be to get as many clients as possible, right? Um, Quality. The booked calls may not be pre-qualified and low quality. Okay, so we go through the extra lengths again to pre-qualify them. Quality. They lack software engineering expertise, which affects the nuances of collaboration with you or communicating to your prospects. Quality, they may not be reliable. So, there's a spectrum of business owners. Anyone can start a business nowadays. So, you're going to get a spectrum, whether that's poor communication, unresponsiveness, or just a lower caliber of service. You wouldn't know what you're getting yourself into here. So, our automated lead generation system and service. So, cost, we do not charge a monthly retainer. We operate on a pay per book call basis. Cost, we do not charge additional monthly fees since we are not using ads. So you'll save thousands of dollars. Risk, results are guaranteed since we are paid on a per booked call basis. We make money only when you make money, right? You pay us only when you get booked calls. Interest, our incentives are fully aligned since we make money only when you make money. Sorry, that was repetitive. Quality, we pre qualify the leads to make sure they are highly qualified so you don't waste your time. Quality, we do not charge for no shows or prospects who are not qualified. Please make sure calls are recorded for us to review. Quality, we have the software engineering background to understand your unique offerings and determine if your clients are a fit, right? So, the gap between an average service and an excellent service is all in the nuances. Quality, we offer high quality communication, fast response, weekly follow up calls, and frequent updates as we go through each step of the process. So those are some of the points that I wanted to address. So just some final closing points. So we will build out the entire system for you. So once again, by working with us, we'll build out, the automated code outbound system, which will lead to booked meetings. We'll help you set all of this up. We'll work on a pay per book call basis, which will ensure that our incentives are fully aligned. And hopefully add tens of thousands of dollars to your recurring revenue and even snowball as time goes on. Yeah, so book a call with us. You can book a call through the link in the description of this video, or if you're watching this from an email that I sent, just simply reply back and let me know if you're interested. And this isn't going to be a pressure call. So just so we're clear, we're not going to hard sell you on our service. This will be a call just to see if your business is a good fit for our service. It's also in our best interest that we are selective and focusing on delivering better results and more booked calls per client that we work with, because this means less overhead and management on our end as well. More resources. So, lastly, if you'd like a more detailed explanation to learn how to implement the system yourself, please let me know. I'll send you a more detailed video going over some of these steps to give you a better understanding of how you can apply it to your business. Depending on when this call is recorded, this video may or may not be ready, but just reply back and let me know. Final words. So, regardless of the means of getting to the finish line, the desired end outcome of all software agencies is the same, which is generating more revenue, making more money, right? I mean, this goes for all businesses. And the question is, how do you make more money? Well, you got to sign more projects. And how do you sign more projects? You have to close more sales calls. And how do you close more sales calls? You have to get more sales calls. You have to get more prospects to book calls with you so you can convert them into signed projects. It's a very simple calculation. And the reason our service is particularly valuable, in my opinion, is because the value is so concrete. It's not arbitrary like SEO or ads, although they may be valuable. the results can't be observed right away. There's a degree of risk since only time will tell if it works or not. It may work, it may not. You wouldn't know until further down the line. But since our service is based on a payment model that ensures you get booked calls, and not only booked calls but high quality book calls, right? I'm verbally saying this to you, so we're already setting up a standard that we have to meet. Our incentives are fully aligned, and it's there's no other way to say this. This is pure value that's undeniable and easily calculable based on your company's closing rate. So to top it off, with our philosophy of delivering excellent service, we're very confident that our service will be high value for your business. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I hope we can see each other in person and even end up working together. Bye.